I built a whole company to teach people about financial literacy, and when it comes to talking with young people, I'll be forward. I can't do it without you. Because the research is surprisingly clear on this. The single biggest factor on whether your teen or young adult ends up being good with money, it's not me, it's not the education, it's not their school, it's the conversations they have with you. So today I'm going to give you 3 questions to start one of those conversations tonight. And stick with me because there's an interesting finding here. When your son or daughter gets better with money, you tend to get better too. No matter who teaches your student, whether it's a class, an app, or me, what actually sticks is what happens at your kitchen table. If we're not talking about this at home, it makes it awfully hard, maybe even impossible, for a teacher or course to carry the load alone. You don't need a finance degree to talk to your kid about money. You just need to be willing to have the discussion. You already know more than you probably give yourself credit for because you learned it all the hard way. And here's the stat that I just promised. When young people learn this material, it doesn't just stay with them, it travels upward. In one study, students went through a financial program, and the researchers didn't just track the students' finances afterwards, they tracked the financial results of the parents. And get this, the parents' default rates went down by 26%, and their credit scores went up. This isn't just a one-way favor you're doing for them. This is helping both of you. So let's get into the questions. And look, I know it's not easy to just bring up these questions out of nowhere. You're on the way to practice. You've got to get the AirPods out somehow. You've got to get them talking. But all we need to do, and all we really can do, is at least try. And mostly just listen. No lectures like, well, when I was your age. And there's no wrong answers here. We're not quizzing anyone. The idea is just to get the conversation going. So here's question 1. What does being rich actually mean to you? Start here because there really is no wrong answer. We're just trying to get a discussion going and get a little engagement. And what they say tells you a lot. Do they picture a pile of stuff, or freedom, or safety? Having enough never to worry, maybe. Whatever they tell you, that's the lens that they see money decisions through. And here's a fun follow-up. Would you rather look rich or be rich? Okay, question 2. If I handed you $1,800 in cash, would you spend it the same way or differently than if I handed you $5 a day? Almost every teen's gonna say it's different. And just like that, in their own words, they've landed on one of the most important money lessons there is. Because $5 a day is roughly $1,800 a year. And when you spend it just a little at a time, the total stays invisible. Here's a follow-up question to that. What's the smallest thing you buy the most often? You can ask how much it costs, how much they think they spend on it in a month, in a year. I want to give you one more question, but before that, I want to make sure you know that if you like doing these questions, we have a free guide. There's 30 of the questions on it, and you can download that from the link I'm going to provide just by putting in your email address. It's also all at sheetkeeperacademy.com. It's free, all it takes is an email. I won't send you a bunch of spammy stuff. Also, if your son or daughter is engaging in these discussions, we have a course that can take them all the way through a financial literacy path and build their own model. But the best part about this course is it's not just a course, it's a conversation. Every time they complete a module, you get an email that tells you what they just completed and gives you more discussion questions about what they just learned. So you can engage in that discussion and continue it together. They're not just learning from the program, but they're learning from you along the way. And it keeps you informed. You can also put some incentives right in the course. So as they make progress, they get some little rewards along the way for completing it. You could put a big reward at the end if you wanted. That's up to you. Okay, question 3 for today. When you get your first really big paycheck, what's the first thing you'd buy? This is a fun one because obviously you want to know what it is that they'd want to do with the money that they get, but also you can share what it is that you had to spend your first paycheck on. Talk about how most of yours went to rent or bills, or maybe you did buy something you weren't able to buy before. And that can lead to a really good discussion about the paycheck itself, which we talk about in the course, but think about how much of that paycheck do they think will go to taxes. You could ask them, if you got a paycheck for $100, how much of that $100 would go to you? And how much would be taken out for other things? Now, I'd love to hear one from you. What are some of the questions that you've used in the past to get your teen or your young adult talking about money? Leave a question or more than one question in the comments. I read them all. Subscribe if you want to hear more of these, and give one of these questions a try tonight. Let's raise a generation that's genuinely good with money, and let's get a little bit better with it ourselves along the way.